Warning! Warning! This podcast is not for the easily offended. We are two guys that think everything and anything can or is a joke.
There is no limits to what our minds may come up with. But understand, these thoughts are all in the nature of comedy, and nothing said here should be taken as gospel. Neither of us are Jesus.
Our testosterone is just too damn high, man.
Fuck yeah, brother!
Anyway, welcome to the show. Prepare to witness a hurricane of humor and thunderous thoughts as we take conversations on a whirlwind to the limits. Hell yeah, brother.
I don't care about humor. Sam, without humor, there's only Hitler.
Do you think that Tarzan was a virgin whenever he met Jane, or was he clapping monkey ass before that?
AIDS. My last name may be Todd, but I'm no retard.
Oh.
You look like a guy that only watches Simpsons porn. You're a fucking homosexual.
He's Sean Connery, dude.
Dude,
Nothing wrong.
from his grave. Give me a Ouija board. Let's talk about bitches, Sean. Hanging out with me is like a ride on the Titanic. You didn't expect it, but you're getting wet. If I'm in Bangkok and get fooled, but I don't hate it, am I bisexual?
What if I texted you something like, Daddy, I'll throw it back on you?
If you ever text me the words daddy, I will block you.
Of course the conspiracies about the Jews are real, because their Holy Land is called
Israel.
and treated like a Twizzler and twist her up in Naked Twister.
What you're gonna do is you're gonna go to clapcleats.com. Promo code Hurricane of Thoughts. That's Thoughts, THOTS.
What's going on, Hurricane homies? It's your boy, it's the Juggernaut Jester Josh, and we're back for another episode of Hurricane of Thoughts. Episode, 14? What the fuck you mean? Winning like Charlie Sheen, that's what we doing. Okay, so, let's start it out with a work story. So I don't have really a past story this week, but I do have a work story I'd like to tell you guys. So let's just start it out with the quick work story. Alright. So there's this lady, I'm not going to use any names, okay? I'm not going to use any names, but there's this lady I work with who's older, and me and her have fake beef, okay? And what that means is she actually annoys me, but I pretend it's a joke, okay? Because that's what I do, chat. I'm great at playing a caricature of what I'm thinking, okay? So what I do is I convince this lady that my anger towards her is a joke, and that it's not real, but in my heart, it's real, okay? So every once in a while we'll get into these bickerments, and she calls me grumpy, and then I call her old bish or whatever the fuck I say, right? Okay, so she walks in the back, and there's a bunch of us working. I'm not in the conversation. I'm minding my own business, right? Just standing there minding my own business, chopping up onions. Got tears rolling down my face a little bit. I'm chopping up onions. Tears rolling down my face, chopping up onions. She drags me into the conversation, right? Okay, so I'm like, what the fuck are you saying, old bish? Okay, and one of the other dudes we're working with goes, nah, Noelle ain't a bitch. She has to be hot. You have to be hot to be a bitch, right? So you have to be hot to be a bitch. So Noelle goes, fuck, I'm not supposed to say names. Put it! Alright, but anyway, so old bitch goes, well, Josh must think I'm hot because he's always calling me a bitch. And I said, no. If you're hot, you're like global warming. It's not good. It's not good at all. He was upset. She was upset. All right. Now we'll move on to the next one. Oh, also, we hit our goal, 150 followers. Let's go. So we have a new goal, 175 followers. I'm sure we can reach that, right? And if you want to become a June Jester, aka a subscriber, just hit that subscribe button. Shout out, shot for the 150. I said, good gracious, ass is bodacious. I saw a fucking, I was scrolling on the fucking social medias today, and I saw a video of Chance the Rapper doing a rendition of Hot in Here in country style. And by God, it had no business being as good as it was, to be honest with you. Shit was fire, low-key. Oh shit, Pink Assassin's raiding with a party of 3. Appreciate that. Hell yeah. Alright. Good gracious ass is bodacious. Alright. So, Pink Assassin, we raided Pink Assassin last week. He got some good team behind him, it seems like. He got good content. Go check him out. No rules, just like us. If you want to have a little chili pom pom, let's go. The raid didn't work. Ass gay. Okay. But all right, I'll tell you the Dr. Pepper story. All right, here we go. So when I was growing up, like, it was weird. I grew up in a rural area. I grew up on a farm. I went to school with a bunch of people that drove tractors to school. A lot of them loved the rebel flag, even though we lived in Pennsylvania, which is nowhere near the South. Okay, so you can tell what type of people I'm dealing with. And even in that time frame, in that culture, our favorite rappers were Lil Wayne and Drake. Our favorite movie stars were Denzel and Will Smith. My favorite artist was Bob Ross. Okay? But then all of a sudden, I grew up and I started watching the news. And all of a sudden, CNN, MSNBC, all these things, all they did was bombard me with, oh, you're white, you're evil, you're white, you're evil. To the point where I can't even drink Dr. Pepper without wondering how many minorities had to suffer for these 23 delicious fucking flavors. You can't have 23 flavors without some minority disparity. What are we doing here? That's what CNN did to my brain, so now I'm going to sue them. That's what it is. All right, and I'll take a shot for the raid. I'll take a shot for the raid. I'll take a shot for the raid. All right. So let's get into it. I got a story from work this week. Okay, we don't talk about where I work. Okay, because I don't want to get fired. Because they can't know what I say on here. But I work in a food service type of situation, and my boss is currently in a wheelchair due to no fault of her own, just a wild freak thing, right? So currently she's in a wheelchair. And the problem is she has a really good work ethic. Yeah, that's a problem when you're trying to heal, because she keeps getting out of her wheelchair and doing work. And a lot of us who really care about her get upset when she does this. And so the other day, I walk around the corner and I see this person who's supposed to be in a wheelchair at all times, standing up doing dishes in a food service dish pit. And I walked over and I couldn't help it because my brain just works like this nonstop. I said, hey, here's what we're going to do. From now on, you're going to pretend this area and every other area in this building is blood territory, right? You know the Bloods? Okay, the gangs? Yeah, this is blood territory. We don't let no Crips in here no more. So you get your crippled fucking ass back in your wheelchair, get back to the office. Sometimes you just got to lay down the law. It's for her own safety. Hey, dude, what you drinking? 1800 tequila. Small bottle so I don't get too drunk. You know what I'm saying? Mexican Joker's back, Hannah. I almost forgot about that shit. Yeah, dude, Mexican Joker is back. All right. So, Hannah, guess what, dude? Next week, I'm taking a drive to Austin, Texas. I got a ticket to do open mic night at Joe Rogan's The Mothership. What? I've been liking those high noons. I don't even know what a high noon is. High noon, like, only thing I can think of at high noon is like, meet me at the saloon at high noon for a shootout, youngster. And then everybody walks outside the saloon, fucking sun's high in the sky. Draw! Wait, really? Congrats. Yeah, your boy's out here. I got my ticket and everything. Yo, what up, Jer? Yeah. Jer, don't worry, I got you a ticket to watch. Yeah. All right. So what do we want to talk about today? What do we got? Okay. I talked about how I told my boss who's in a wheelchair, I said, pretend these work areas are blood territory. You get your crip ass out of here. Cripple ass out of here. We talked about how I had their vodka seltzer water juice. Vodka seltzer water juice. Vodka seltzer water juice. Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah. Vodka salsa water juice. Or whatever the fuck you said. So what do we want to talk about? We want to talk about Walgreens' awesome idea. Do we want to talk about Jake Shields fighting 10 trans people? Do we want to talk about baseball might be back? Is baseball back? Do we want to talk about Tyson Fury and John Jones? If anybody likes any of these that you hear, just type it and I'll talk about it. Do we want to hear about Joe Biden falling? Chuckle, chuckle, chuckle. Oh shit, I forgot it's Pride Month. Fuck, dude. God damn it, I didn't put a rainbow up. I didn't do nothing. You know what? I'm gonna have to say something gay. All right, we're gonna have to say something gay really fast in order to honor Pride Month. It's the first episode of Pride Month. We gotta say something gay. Joe Biden's doing a good job. That's gay? That's gay. Yeah. Okay, let's go, Brandon. All right, nobody got a personal idea? All right, we'll talk about it. Okay, let's talk about this. Has anybody in here seen the show Top Gear? The British one, not the American one, because, you know, we just fucking beat off the fucking, you know, Chevy, Ford, you know. Top Gear, they was about it. They give everybody a fair shot, right? And first of all, let's just be honest, it was better. It was better. They have better roads over there. They have better racetracks over there. I don't know what it is, but Top Gear made me feel like driving in America was trash. All right? But anyway, the taller guy out of the group, Jeremy Carlson, he recently said in an interview, because he's been getting backlash, because wokeness in America just traveled yonder, right? Like back in the day, British people used to spread their shit to everybody else, and now they just copy us. Cucks. Okay? So the British people now, they're totally about all this woke shit. So they're like LGBTQ plus AR15 or whatever the fuck the new acronym is. Like, right? You know what I mean? Here in this channel, we call them the plethora people. Because it's a lot. It's a lot. Their arguments, they're a lot. Their pronouns, it's a lot. The letters, it's a lot. It's all a lot. It's plethora people here. Okay? So the plethora people are now in the UK going after their stars, including Jeremy Carlson. And he said this in an interview when pressed. I can't be homophobic. I watch lesbian porn. I can't be homophobic. I watch lesbian porn. Now, I'm starting to see a theme here, because Central C, the rapper, the British rapper, once said, how can I be homophobic? My bitch is gay. Okay? So I'm starting to sense something that the British people have in their arsenal that I don't see anybody in America using. Like, nobody in America is using that argument right now, and I think it's lost. Like, that's my thing, dude. I get hard when two girls kiss. Not homophobic. That's not scary to me. It's arousing. Dudes kissing, not arousing, right? Okay? I'm not scared of it. It's just like, ew, right? Gross. If I see vomit, ew. Two dudes kissing, ew. Do I think they shouldn't get married? No, because two dudes putting a ring on their finger and being miserable for the rest of their life doesn't make me go, ew. Because I don't see it. It's not my life. So I'm saying, yo, what up, Lemon? In real life stuff. All right. Word up, Jew. What up, G? Okay. So I'm starting to say that we need to start using this here in America. Like, that's what's funny about the right. The right, like, they act like they're smarter than the left, but they're not. They're just the flip side of the argument, right? Because this is right there. It's like my joke that I have about racists and how they talk about white girls that like black men, right? Can't do that joke on here. Has to be on stage without cameras, or I'll be fucking dead on. But it is what it is. Just got done working out. Oh shit, was it leg day? You can't forget leg day. See, leg day is important, and I know that for a reason, because in high school, we had this kid named Matt, all right? And Matt was a weird kid, but a cool kid. Weird, but cool. Awkward as hell, okay? And he got made fun of so much one year that over the summer, he worked out every single day and came back with pythons, right? Didn't work a single day on his legs. To the point where it became such a school joke that people would get on the school morning announcements and end it with, "Hey, Matt, don't forget leg day." The man was tortured for A, not being fit at all, and then B, being fit only in one area. You got a third leg, it's kind of hard to walk sometimes, bro? Dude, okay, I got you, Lemon. So if you got a third leg and it's kind of hard to walk sometimes, I get it. It's like a pendulum swinging, okay? Pendulums are made to throw off the balance, okay? So what's happening is I bet you're having trouble in your love life because when that pendulum starts swinging, you start losing your traction because it swings this way, you know, body starts to go that way. It's momentum based. So what you're going to do is you're going to get a pair of these clap cleats right here to dig in for your traction for that action. When you need more grip to thrust that hip, when you need more friction for that sex addiction, when you need more traction for that action, you're going to get clap cleats so your pendulum can swing all in that box. It's what it is, Lemon. All right. But anyway, go to clapcleats.com. Promo code Hurricane of Thoughts. All right. It is Pride Month. And there's a couple things that I'll really say about Pride Month. Let's get this out the way. A, I don't care. B, I also still don't care. C, don't care. D, I'm a little annoyed. See, there's 3 I don't cares before I'm annoyed. Okay? So let's get that out the way. But talking about the things I don't care about, not fun. So let's get to the part where I'm a little annoyed. Pride Month is very strange. Because I'm conflicted because I'm logical. And I'm like, yes, I agree that you should be able to do what you want and say and love who you love and all that stuff. None of that bothers me. It's part of the 3 things of I don't care. What I do care about is that they throw it up like the bat signal in the sky where everybody has to see it, okay? Now, I love America, and I think it's great here. And I love that we're being progressive and that we're, you know, breaking boundaries and all that shit. But the rest of the world isn't there yet. So what's happening now is we're being affected by this movement. So the rest of the world doesn't want to deal with our corporations because we're woke. The rest of the world looks at us as weak and delusional because their values and their whole existence is predicated on the opposite of it. Now, do I think that's right? No. I don't care. Like, that doesn't bother me either. They can have their own customs. They can have their own things. So I guess it comes down to is everybody wants to say, like, they're like, what do you care for? Them doing all this shit in June doesn't affect you? Well, actually it does, because things are going to be more expensive because these other countries don't want to deal with us as much. They're going to go to other places around the world to get goods and services to avoid working with us because to them that really is like a bad thing. Like just the way that you would be devastated if you got called a racist and everybody believed it, they feel that way about the homophobic, the homophobia, or not the gay or the hetero, whatever. That's how they feel. So we're now being affected. Gas is going to be more expensive because Iran doesn't want to deal with us. They're raising prices through the roof. So it's more of a question of what's more important, your ability to throw it in my face, or the ability of America to still seem strong. Now, that's not that I think we look weak for doing it. It's that the rest of the world thinks we look weak. And the fact is nobody wants to talk about that, and that's annoying as fuck. All right. Okay. But the cool thing is I've recently been seeing there's a big movement because people don't like Pride Month anymore. So now there's Dinosaur Month. People are trying to get Pride Month changed to Dinosaur Month where they're trying to, and I don't know if it's just on iFunny, or if it's a real thing, but apparently it's real enough that AIs are starting to acknowledge Dinosaur Month, where people are now saying that they're not doing the woke stuff, they're going to celebrate dinosaurs instead, right? I don't see the correlation. Are they saying that? I don't know, dude. Are they saying that, you know, dinosaurs have fuel like society in the future? Like dinosaurs back then had no idea in the future they fuel shit, right? Your car, dinosaur. Are they saying that gay people in the future are going to fuel shit? Like, is gay culture going to fuel the future? I think so. Everything's androgynous now, dude. Unless you're in Texas. That's why I'm moving, chat. Just kidding. That's not why I'm moving, but it's a good reason. All right, we'll talk about video games. All right, I'm done with politics. Yeah, that's all I've got anymore. After 114 episodes, I've got about 10 minutes of politics in me. And then I'm out. And then I am out. So we're going to talk about volcanoes. Did you guys know that there's volcanoes on other places in the solar system and in the galaxy? Like, I don't know why. Like, for somebody who knows so much about space and stuff, I don't know why this shocked me a little bit. I just thought that Earth was so, like, special that that we were the only ones that had flowing magma and all this shit, right? Because of oxygen. Well, it turns out that other places have volcanoes, and I recently learned the size of the largest volcano in the world. It's your mom's pussy. Okay? So in case you were wondering, like, oh, the global warming freaks, they're always talking about there's going to be an eruption that destroys the world. Well, tell your mom to keep her legs closed. I'm joking. Let's get to the real stuff. Mars has a volcano that is 13.6 miles tall. 13.6 miles tall. That's 3 times taller than, over 3 times taller than Mount Everest. And it has a diameter, now, for the idiots out there, diameter is the line that goes from through the circle. A diameter of 370 miles. What? Space versus ocean, which one is more unknown? Okay, that's a good one. Well, if you listen to marine biologists, they would like to tell you that the ocean is more unexplored than space, because space has a thinner pressure atmospheric thing on the vessels, and the water has too much force and everything. Like, once we get to a certain point, okay? I would say that space still, because although we've explored more, we've seen more space. We haven't explored more space. We've seen more space with infrared telescopes and the Hubble telescope and now the James Webb telescope and all this stuff. We've seen more. We haven't explored more. We certainly haven't tested more. And there's an infinite more to explore. So the oceans, there's a finite amount of space that needs explored. And once we just, figure out a fucking structural phenomenon that can't be crushed by thousands of pounds of pressure of water, we're going to be able to explore that shit lickety-split. It would take so much time to explore all of space. So I guess your question would, to answer your question, we've explored more space. Explored more space. But at the end of humans, if we don't blow ourselves up and humans don't come down and fuck our actresses, aliens, if aliens don't come down and fuck our actresses, we'll probably get to a point where we've explored the whole ocean. And that's that. Now, which one would be cooler for me to explore personally? I would personally like to explore the ocean more for a couple reasons. One, I'm still on Earth, I understand how shit works, right? Because in outer space, we claim we know how shit works, but we actually don't know anything. Okay? We can't, like, gravity's still a theory. It's never been proven. Oh, what, dude? Yeah, it blows everybody's mind. Gravity has never been proven. Okay? It literally could be, like, the math just doesn't make sense. Gravity could just be advanced electromagnetism on a quantum scale that nobody understands. But hey, that's just whatever. Hearsay. Woo! But I would like to explore we claim we know what's going on out there, but every year I read a new scientific paper because I love space. I read a new scientific paper of, yeah, we just seen some shit that don't make any sense. Well, yeah, because we don't know shit. If we don't know shit, everything doesn't make sense. But in the ocean, we've lived here for a while, so we understand how things work. We understand pressures, things, so on and so forth. So I would rather explore the ocean because A, it's Earth, so I know there's living things to be found. B, I understand the environment that I would be in. C, it'd just be really cool to find something that may have been lost. Like, imagine this. A boat's going over the Mariana Trench and then sinks. There could have been a civilization pre-Ice Age, what's it called? Dude, what? Don't, Hannah! God damn it! You just brought up the most sensitive astrological subject in my heart. Because logically, I get it. Logically, I'm with them. But in my heart, man, the fucking planet, man. Okay, in my heart, Pluto is a planet. But I get why they say it's not, because they didn't realize. Okay, so let's just break it down. Back in the day, prior to all the cool technology, the reason why we could see Pluto is because of its surface. Its surface is so bright, it reflects light, easy for us to see. What we didn't know at the time is that it is in a belt, like similar to the asteroid belt, but smaller. It is in a belt of a bunch of space debris. Okay? And in that space debris, it's not even one of the top 10 largest things. So, if we were to call Pluto a planet, we would have to call all those other things that are in that belt a planet. So, I get why they would say it's not a fucking planet, because then you'd have to classify other things as planets. Now, it's like a consolation prize. They were like, it's a dwarf planet. Hey, man, it's not a midget. Okay? And we still say midget around here, and we remember why, right? We say midget for two reasons. One, they already took the N-word from us. You can't have two letters in a row. And two, I'm giving them the opportunity to be the bigger person for once in their life and just let it go. All right? So it's not a dwarf or a midget planet. It's a planet in my heart. But I get it. Now, the new definition of planet that they put in to classify Pluto as not a planet, if you really want to get in the weeds about it, Egypt, has nothing to do with what I'm about to say, but I just love it. Technically, by the definition, Jupiter's not a planet either, because Jupiter actually doesn't orbit the sun on a set orbit. It just kind of, it's like a Beyblade. You know how sometimes you rip a Beyblade and it just stays on the outside and you don't know why? Just randomly that time it stayed out there? That's what Jupiter does. Jupiter just happens to be in the same vicinity all the time and chilling, right? But it's not actually in a set orbit, which technically makes it not a planet. But hey, I'm not NASA, dude. I had a dream to be a part of NASA, and Miss Mizell, that stupid Howard Stern looking bitch, told me, laughed at my face and said, get a realistic hobby. That's what happens when you grow up in a hillbilly school town, is your teachers doesn't believe in anybody. Ha 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 ha! You're dying, ho! Alright, now that I got that off my chest, Pluto's a fucking planet! Alright. Alright. Yeah, okay. Ooh. I never, like, I always have to do this anytime we're talking about space. Because I feel like not enough people know. Because the way we're shown space in school, we always see it in this, like, disc frisbee formation where the sun's in the center and we're all just rotating around it on a perfect plane, and it looks like you could just throw it like a frisbee and it just spin through the fucking universe, right? But that's not it at all. It's more like a shadow, a shuttlecock. It's more like a shuttlecock. The sun is in front, leading the way. The sun is flying through the space like this, and we are in rotations like this behind it. Now, be it's not as wide as a shadow cook. It's still, the sun's moving like this, like this, like this, like this, in a cone formation following behind it, because the Big Bang shot the sun infinitely that way. So the sun's going forever this way, and we are stuck in its orbit that's following it in a circle like this. I don't know. That's just what they say. That's just how it is. Now, we are not a frisbee. We are a shuttlecock. Our solar system's a shuttlecock. All right. Do we have any other questions? Does anybody in here have a question about space? Any question? I know so much shit about space. You want to talk about Galicius 3.1x? Or 3.1b? Or 3. Oh, wait. 3.1? No. It's not 3.1. Galicius. Inhabitable. Ah, fuck, dude. Instead of 5.1, it's 581. Yeah, Galicius 581G, dude. What do you guys know about that shit? You guys don't know shit about Galicius 581 B or whatever. You believe in flat Earth? Are you trolling? Okay, which flat... Okay, this is a good question. This is a good question. What flat Earth theory do you subscribe to? This is important. Because I heard a theory one day that, you know, I'm a real conspiracy skeptic. There's only two that I believe in for sure, okay? Although I entertain them, so I'm known as a conspiracy theorist because I entertain them, I don't believe in a lot of them. But I heard an interesting take on flat Earth a couple weeks ago that I was like, that's not bad. Okay, so this person's theory was they call themselves neo-flat earthers. They don't believe the Earth is actually flat. They believe that the Earth is actually a globe. She was just being lied to. So hear me out. I'm just going to try to explain it to the best of my ability. All right? So their theory is it starts with the Earth isn't flat, but it's a lot larger than we claim, and that we are in a giant pond, right? And we're in a giant pond that we cannot leave because of Antarctica, right? So like the whole thing around this is based on Antarctica is the way to get to the rest of it, okay? To get to the rest of our planet. So we're basically like an island in the middle of a lake, which is our oceans, okay? And the only way to get off the island is to go through Antarctica. That's what they say. And I'm like, okay, but why? And then he gave a good reason. He's like, well, all the people that are in charge on this planet, they have control over the resources. And what happens if you tell everybody that lives here that there are infinite more resources on the other side of this area? Well, then everybody that's doing bad here will just leave to go to the new place like America was. When America was new, you know, people would just set out west because they didn't have anything. And they were like, well, let's just go figure it out. So people, their whole thing is that, comment Haley Bob? I'll talk about Haley's comment here in a second. I got some shit to say about comments. Okay, but the flat Earth thing. So the whole thing is they saying that the people that are in control of resources, you know, it is weird that, you know, nobody on the planet, the world leaders don't agree on anything except for nobody can go to Antarctica. That is weird. Like, Russia and the United States are basically in a war right now, and we're both still in agreement. If somebody tries to go to Antarctica, we stop them together. That's weird. Okay? So their whole thing is that they want to keep us on this island because they can use us like slaves It's more like it's kind of like a village type situation. We don't know what we don't have because we don't know about it, right? And I was intrigued because they gave some evidence. Now, I don't know if you've heard of Richard E. Byrd, but he was a military general during the height of American, fuck around, find outness. Okay? And this man went on a trip to Antarctica, came back. Within 2 weeks of being back, he created NASA and the treaty that the world agreed upon that nobody would go to Antarctica. Now, I don't know why, but NASA is always talking about blah, blah, blah. We run the fucking space and stuff, but they've got no satellites over the North Pole. They've got nothing. They've got no pictures of Antarctica. Everything's CGI, technically. I just found this out recently. So it is very strange. Antarctica is very weird. And then I found out that Richard E. Byrd had a secret journal that have pages in it that say that when he got to Antarctica, about 10 miles in, he found a civilization that lived amongst trees and forests. In his own personal email, he said into Antarctica, he found a different set of people that lived in a forest on the other side of the ice. And when he came back, he set up NASA, which basically gives you every image of Earth you've ever seen. Weird. It's basically the outer space propaganda machine. Now, I'm not subscribing to this. I don't believe in this, but they make a good point, and Richard E. Byrd needs to explain himself. All right, now let's talk about comets. What do we know about comets in the chat? You guys know where comets come from? Do we know about them? Dude, do I still have it? I do. No fucking way. All right, just to show you guys I'm not bullshitting. I have this pinned to my thing because I love it so much. This is the true solar system as it sits. As it sits right now, this is the solar system. All right, and then can we zoom out? Yes, we can. Nice. Here we go. Okay. So this is our solar system. You see this right here? And then these are comets. Comets come from all the way out here. I was looking up one day the longest comets that we know of. This comet right here only enters Earth's view every 5,722 years. What the fuck? How do we even know that? Okay? This is how much of a fucking space dork I am. Then if we zoom in. So right here's Earth. Right now there's this comet. And it's going to be passing through right there. We'll be able to see it in this little area right here. That's sick. Okay, anyway. See chat, no cap. All right, hold on one second. Just let me fix this real quick. And we're fucking back, baby. Have you ever heard of Heaven's Gate? Yeah, dude. Have you seen the new pictures of Heaven's Gate from the James Webb Telescope? Do you guys even know how the James Webb Telescope works? It's not a picture. Like, everybody acts like it's a picture, but it's infrared readings because you cannot, like, the light doesn't travel that far. So, like, the reason, like, you can't see shit, it's not because we can't see far enough. It's because the light, after a while, stops traveling. Like, it just fizzles out. Okay? But what this does is infrared travels way farther and is way more sensitive than what we can predict, like what eyes can see. So the James Webb Telescope is just a giant fucking mirror that sucks infrared and then uses that with math to create an image. Shit's nuts! But yeah, dude, I'll show you the new Heaven's Gate. Heaven's Gate James Webb. This shit is fucking crazy. And this is literally a fucking nebula Oort cloud, okay? This is the type of shit where comets come from. This shit's nuts, dude. And then these are the pillars of creation. Yeah, dude. Space is fucking dope, dude. I could talk about space all fucking day. All right. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So, yeah. The people who thought that they were going to be able to jump on Halley's Comet. Yeah. Halley's Comet's weird, yo. Me and Jim were talking about it one day for hours, dude. Like, the day that I discovered that Jupiter was where Mars used to be, where Mars is now. When I found that out, I went on a fucking super dive, okay? And then I found out that in like 100 years or so, we're going to have 2 moons. Because every like 700 or 800 years or some shit, there's this fucking giant asteroid that ends up it's in an orbit on the other side of the sun. And then when we orbit to that side of the sun, it's still there orbiting. And then its orbit crosses with our orbit. And then for like, I don't know, like 5 months, we'll have 2 moons in the sky. Shit's going to be dope. Okay, I won't be here, but you know, people will, probably. But yeah, dude, those people were crazy, dude. Those people were definitely out of their mind, yo. Like, imagine, dude, like, this is why I'm not surprised that people, like, still buy into, like, politicians and stuff. Because regular ass dudes can convince a group of people to kill themselves because a thing that they can't even know what it is going through the sky, and he's like, dude, it's fucking aliens, bro. If we kill ourselves right now, our souls will go up and get captured by the fucking asteroid, dude. And then all those people were like, dude, makes sense, dude. 100%, dude, we're with you. I don't know, dude. If people are willing to do that on the off chance that Halley's Comet is a fucking spaceship, I get why people voted for Joey B and Donald T. You know, just because we have a Donald Trump anime Goku looking version motherfucker over there doesn't mean we support him, even though he's trashing DeSantis right now. Dude, Trump flip-flopped so hard, somehow he made DeSantis look on the far right. 2 weeks ago, Trump was on the far right, DeSantis was in the middle, and then the Democrats were somewhere over in left field, right? Now, after 2 weeks of him and DeSantis going back and forth, somehow this genius son of a bitch flipped it to where Trump's in the middle, DeSantis is over there waving his little woke flag saying transgenders need to die, and then everybody else is still over there in left field waiting for fly balls. Like, the whole situation's weird. It's weird. The dude's, he's either a genius or, I don't know, dude. I don't know what he is, but he's gonna win. Dude, he's gonna win, dude. Joe Biden can't walk. He can't get up when he falls. He can't form sentences. Like, first of all, I think if you don't want Biden and you don't want Trump, we should vote for the Kennedy guy for 3 reasons. One, I mean, you know, his parents were doing a pretty good job before they got taken out. 2, we haven't had any leaders taken out in a while, right? We've been taking leaders out across seas and over borders and whatnot, but none of ours have been taken out recently. And Kennedys have a pretty good track record of, you know, bop, bop, or, you know. So I think it'd make things really interesting because nobody's going to kill Trump. Biden's going to kill himself by falling down the stairs. And I think it'd be way cooler if the CAA got back into the fucking game of killing presidents. That shit would make me dick hard. You want to leave on a Haley Bop? First of all, it's Halley's Comet. Don't call it Haley Bop. Haley Bop's dumb. We don't talk about Haley Bop. It's Halley's Comet. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it with respect. Okay, Haley was the only 2 Haleys I've ever known in my life were hot. She don't work with me no more, so I'll talk about it. She may be dumb and pregnant, but them tits were heavy. You know what I'm saying? She had those fucking milk jugs that would feed multiple babies. Makes sense she got pregnant. That's right. Put some respect on Haley's Comet's name, dude. The Bop? Get that Bop out of here. What is this, Baby Bop? Barney? We don't even do no Barney shit out here. We smoking the Zaza, talking about Baby Bop and shit? Dude, Haley's Comet is weird, yo. Because Haley's Comet is the only comet that, like, okay, so here's the weird things about Haley's Comet, okay? So Haley's Comet leaves our solar system and then comes back. Now, that's not unusual for comets. But what is unusual is that it's in our solar system for about just under half the amount of time it's out of our solar system. Now, if that doesn't make sense to you, I'll point it out. Imagine this is our solar system right here, right? And half the time it's in here, and then half the time it's out here. So that means the amount of time it's out of it... Okay, hold on. Time out. Fuck. Okay. So it's coming into the solar system and leaving. So now what doesn't make sense is it has to be shooting around something. Because when it's coming into Earth, it's getting to the sun and then gaining speed like we did with the rocket, with the space shuttle Apollo, and we used the moon to slingshot it back to Earth. Haley's Comet's doing that around our sun. So it's entering our atmosphere at a slower speed, slowing down, gets close to the sun, and then whips around the sun and then leaves. And then leaves for about the same amount of time and then re-enters. Okay? So if you're just thinking logically, that means there has to be something as big as the sun out there whipping it back at us. But we can't see it. So the running theory is there's a dead brown dwarf star. Dead brown dwarf star. Dead brown dwarf star. Dude, dead brown dwarf stars? They're different comets? Oh, then I don't care about it. Fuck Haley Bob. It's trash. Dude, fuck that comet then, dude. I thought it was Haley's Comet this whole time and they just gave it their own little fucking cutesy name. That's what everybody does. They're like, fucking, give it a cute little name. Favorite question in Florida? I don't even know what that means. What the fuck's a favorite question in Florida? What's in the sky? Is it a bird? Is it a plane? No, it's Superman, Leah Thomas? Dude. Yeah, dude. Dude, fuck that comment then, dude. It's a Haribo. No, but anyway. Yeah, dude. Okay, anyway, Haley's Comet. Possible dwarf star we don't know about. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. There's a giant ringing in my ear. Oh, shit. Okay, it went away. Bro, dude, I've been having ear issues lately. Shit's pissing me off. You know what I'm saying, chat? You guys ever get, like, random ringing in your ears? Like, sometimes it's, like, so bad that, like, I can't even focus. Good gracious, ass is bodacious. Rinse your ear with hydrogen peroxide? Okay, Neil. Okay. Nice to have you here, sir. In case you didn't know, Neil, next week, I'm probably not going to be on, but we still will be live. It's going to be something a little bit different. I'm going to Texas. I've got a ticket to perform at an open mic night at Joe Rogan's new club, The Mothership. Aliens! So you guys, does anybody here shop at Walgreens? Does anybody even care about Walgreens anymore? So Walgreens is now debuting a new store in California where only 2 aisles in the entire store have touchable product. Now they call this the anti-theft store. So now if you want something, you have to walk in, find where it's at, and then walk over, find an employee and be like, hey, excuse me, lazy person who I know doesn't want to do this. Can you come unlock this box for me so I can get condoms? Hey, can you come unlock this box for me so I can get Preparation H? Hey, can you come unlock this box for me so I can get tampons? Like, nobody's going to go to this store. All this is going to do is make more and more people do online ordering, do online like Instacart or something like that, or just plain old out like just not go to Walgreens and go somewhere else. Like, I don't want to go to a store where everything, like, what if I need like 10 things? Well, then I have to have this employee follow me around the entire store and open boxes for me? What the fuck are we talking about here? And I think the bigger issue is nobody's talking about, the news is just talking about, oh, this is what Walgreens has to do because theft is so high. Well, why is theft so high? All I keep hearing the White House press secretary say is, the economy's doing great. Inflation's not going through the roof. Hey, bitch, inflation went through the roof last year and never went down. Shit still sucks. God, man. Dude, and you know what really sucks? Is I don't hate any of these people. Nancy Pelosi I hated, and she's not Speaker of the House anymore. So the bitch doesn't say anything to piss me off, so now I just have to be mad in general. Now I just have to sit here and be like, all of them suck. I can't pinpoint a certain one to talk shit about. There's no more Nancy Pelosi's 80-year-old fucking ideas with her 30-year-old tits. There's no more of that. There's no more of her husband getting bashed in the fucking ass with a dick and then bashed in the head with a hammer in the same night. There's no more of none of that. Like, politics sucks, man. It's all trash, dude. We need somebody cool. Like, I don't want Biden or Trump, to be honest. But I'd like somebody cool. Like, it'd be real cool if if Robert F. Kennedy Jr. won, and then he just came out and he was like, you know, he's president, right? And they're like, Mr. President, how do you feel about your uncle's death? There's the Warren report. How do you feel about the investigation done in the Warren report? And then he just goes, I believe the Warren report like I believe in Harry Potter. Word for word, it's the truth, am I right? Like, that'd be fire as shit, dude. If my man just came out and started confirming shit and then they blew his head off. Like, in the 60s, they got away with that shit. And even Nixon, when they got him with Watergate, he said in a private letter to one of his friends, he goes, yeah, I don't have anything to do with it. They just got me on it because they can't kill people like they did the Kennedys. He said that in a letter. My man's Nixon said they Watergated his ass because they couldn't Kennedy his ass. Because they had already done it too many times. I mean, come on, people. We need another Kennedy as president because either they're going to kill him, or B, he's going to win big, baby. Dude, you know what's crazy? Is like, it's not real. None of it's real, dude. None of it's real, dude. We all know who really runs this country, dude. We all know who runs this country. Put it in the chat if you know. Who runs the country, chat? That's right. TikTok influencers. TikTok influencers are running this country. How, you ask? Well, think about it. TikTok influencers basically have the child minds on lock. So all these kids that are in about 2 to 3 years are going to be able to vote for the first time. They have a completely different set of ideas than any generation before them. So, as they may not be running it now, nothing that we do now is going to matter then. Because we'll be outnumbered. Because we're all going to die from getting COVID vaccinated. Or die from drone strikes because Joe Biden doesn't know how to read coordinates properly. He's still the commander-in-chief. He's the one who has to approve the drone strikes. So he's going to be like, I thought it was the Middle East. No, sir. That's Middle East to New York, sir. You just hit the Middle Eastern block of New York. Well, fuck, let's blame it on the Arabs. We've seen it before. They'll do it again. George Bush, Joe Biden, all these sound so similar, dude. Oh, I know. Joe Biden's not making any decisions. Dude, Joe Biden doesn't even know where he's at half the time. And my favorite thing is, like, on the news, if you watch the news, like, what I do is I watch all the sides. So I watch the left, the right, the middle, and then the people that hate them all, right? I watch the squares. And it's funny that the Democrats insist that Joe Biden, like, they'll come out and say something like, nobody's outworking Joe Biden in the White House right now. Fuck, bitch. What? The kid, the fifth grade field trip to the White House has more brain power than you right now, sir. You know what I mean? Like, dude, they won't let Joe Biden debate RFKJ, right? They won't let him debate him because he would lose to a field grade trip of fifth graders. Like, you know the show, Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader? If you put real fifth graders, not the TV ones that Jeff Foxworthy handpicked because they were smart. If you took regular fifth graders, ones that were like, you know, 21, can you do it for me? Or whatever the fucking TikTok trend is at that time. Fortnite emote. Fifth graders. You put them in a debate against Joe Biden, it's still pretty fucking close. Joe Biden would say one word they don't understand, and that would give him the edge. But other than that, they both sound like bumbling idiots. They just give him vague praises. Oh, yeah. Well, no, the thing is like, he fell the other day, and then, like, he needed help by two people getting up because he can't stand up. Like, and before he even fell, like, they tell him where to go, and then he's fucking, and, like, I'm not even trying to make fun of the guy, but you're the president, so fucking deal with it, dude. You know, it's like Lizzo, fucking, you know, I'm the standard of beauty. Stop making fun of me online. I'm gonna post half-naked pictures of my 400-pound black ass, and then get mad when people are like, gross, dude. Like, what the fuck, dude? All these people are insane. You're asking for it. Like, I don't put this content out expecting everybody to love it. I know there's going to be some people that are like, hey, man, fuck you. And that's what I have to deal with. I'm not going to come on here the next day and be like, can you believe these people don't agree with me? And I'm also not saying anything retarded like, more cheeseburgers make me beautiful. Cheeseburgers, beauty, together. Me, I am beauty. I would expect girls to be like, what the fuck is this fat dork talking about? You know what I mean? I mean, yeah, his handlers are working overtime, bro. Dude, this is all the evidence that's ever going to be needed from this part forward for conspiracy theorists to be like, we're right when it comes to the government's actually planned out by people that aren't in front of us, is literally Joe Biden in a dementia-ridden moment said, if China does anything to Taiwan, we will react with our military. Within 4 hours, the White House press secretary comes out and goes, Joe Biden's word were his own opinion and not the opinion of his administration. My bad, dude. I thought he was his administration because this is how it's set up. Joe Biden says, I'm going to run for president, and then he wins, and then he makes an administration. Well, if you have to come out and say that Joe Biden isn't the voice of his own administration and that the U.S. government doesn't back what he just said, well, then you're admitting that he's not actually in charge of his own ideas and plans. Not a surprise. I'm not mad about it. It's just what it is. Drink motherfucker. Jim says hi. Oh, hey, Jim. Shot time. Cheers, mates. He's constantly stating that they told him not to talk about shit. Oh, for sure, dude. Hi, Florida boys. Hey, Neil, if you can get next week off, dude, you can come with me, dude. I'll drive. I'm driving. You can ride. If you want to go to Texas, dude. Hey, did you tell Jim that we got top 8%? I sent him a picture, but he never replied. Sack shit. Okay, but anyway. Oh, guys, anyway. So, me and Jeremiah on Friday, in case you guys missed it, we did the final Fortnite Cash Cup of that season, and we placed top 8% with 256 points out of over 160,000 people. 80,000 plus teams. Heard that, sir. Heard that. The only reason I can afford to do it is because I have vacation time saved up. And I don't even know if I can actually afford it, but I'm doing it anyway. Mars has a volcano. Oh, dude, does anybody here play Diablo? Does anybody in the chat right now like Diablo? Because I've got news. I've got news. Diablo 4. It's your passion, death worth the YOLO move. 100%, dude. I didn't just do the Joe Rogan one. I have other open mics already set up and everything too. It's gonna be dopeness. Alright, but what was I about to say? Oh, Diablo. Diablo 4 is certain people have it now, but it's about to be released to everybody soon. And they've released a statement where they said that the first 1,000 players in Diablo 4 to hit level 100 on hardcore mode will be immortalized on a giant statue at the company and in the games. So going forward, in games, there will be statues that have your name on it, as well as at the company, there will be a statue with your gamer tag name on it. So, I don't know if anybody gives a fuck about Diablo, but if you're good at it, and you think you could be one of the top 1,000 people to get to level 100 on hardcore, you could be immortalized forever. You haven't played them? I've never played them either. I know my friend Brandon really likes them. He really likes Diablo. He already pre-bought the new one too. Yep. See, I'm not really sure. Like, I don't know. I've never really tried a game like that, but like they don't seem fun to me. Like I tried Pokemon Unite, which is weird, like sort of similar, but not really. But those games where like you're just like a character and then bop bop bop. Fuck that, Golem for Game of the Year. The fuck is Golem? Oh, dude. He looks crazy as hell, bro. My man's looks crazy. Yeah, dude, I don't know anything about video games, dude, to be honest. All I know is the new season of Fortnite's coming out soon. And supposedly this is supposed to be a big year for video games, like MMOs or whatever. I know Xbox has a shit ton of releases coming out. I'm not really sure about games, though. I really wish I did like video games more. I really do. You're precious. I mean, to be honest with you, Golem's probably going to win Game of the Year based on the memes alone. Like, the memes are going to go crazy because people love Lord of the Rings. There's already, like, a mainstream meme threads of Lord of the Ring memes. And now you're going to have memes with people trying to troll, doing stuff in the game, getting, like, it's going to get popular just based on the fact that Lord of the Rings is so huge. People are going to start saying that the Lord of the Rings game is better than the fucking show that Amazon made. Like, it's going to probably win just based on social media presence. I don't even think it'll win on anything other than, well, I mean, I don't know anything about the game, but it'll probably win just on that. I don't get excited for new games these days. Well, the thing is Xbox is releasing all of the new games that people are excited about on Game Pass. So we'll be able to play them for free when they first come out. So you won't have to wait the year anymore. Which is pretty dope. The Golem game is absolute trash. Oh, okay. I had no idea. Absolutely garbage. I'm not going to lie, guys. There's nothing to talk about in the news. Everything's fucked. Did you guys have topics you want to talk about? Hopefully not political. Is there any cool news? I saw a video go viral about Pokemon, about Charmanders dying and then becoming Cubones. And that's pretty fucking whack because we've talked about that. Dude, like, what goes viral is weird to me. Because, like, I care about, like, I guess what's weird is I care so much about what's funny that that's all I post. And I keep seeing these weird conversations that are not funny, but they're kind of, like, interesting, but not that interesting. And most of the stuff I already know. But I keep forgetting that I'm smarter and I look at more stuff than most people. So I'm going to start clipping out regular shit I say and posting it and see what happens. So, like, just regular shit, you know? Oh, yeah, I did see that, bro. Yo. And it's my man's Ryan Reynolds, bro. It's his team. So what happened is there's a tournament where anybody who's not currently contracted to be a professional player in any sport got to participate in this soccer tournament for $1 million. And most of the teams were men, retired professional men's athletes, young up-and-coming teenagers, stuff of that nature. And the U.S. women's soccer team decided they were going to participate in the tournament to prove that women are just as good at soccer as men. Okay? So what happened was they played the first game. They lost 5-0. No big deal. It's fine. But then the next game, they're going against Wrexham, which is Ryan Reynolds' newly purchased soccer team. Okay? Well, retired Wrexham players, which is his new team. Ryan Reynolds bought the team. And before the game, one of the girls did a live viral moment where she goes, "Ryan Reynolds, you should be here because us girls are going to kick your team's ass." At halftime, it was 6-0. And then they ended the game at 12-0 with 10 minutes left for the mercy rule. So, the funny thing is that the girls actually handled it with class during halftime. Down 6-0, they interviewed one of the girls, and she goes, "You know, even though it's not the result we were hoping for, we're just happy to be out here. We're having a blast, and we just want to prove that you can be brave and challenge yourself. And they basically handled it without being sore losers and being like, well, you know, the referees or whatever. But the funny thing about the right is that doesn't matter. Like, you said it, now you have to get shit talked on you. So now everybody, you know, that's fucking like, you know, that gets annoyed about, why do men make more money in sport? Those people right now are shutting the fuck up. They're not saying a word. Like, we all laughed it off when a group of 7th grade national boys beat them. We laughed it off. We were like, ah! They probably were taking it easy on the young fellas. But now, it's embarrassing. Which brings me to this. Jake Shields, a former UFC fighter, has announced that he, who recently put out a challenge that said, if these trans people think they're just like us, then I will fight 10 trans men in a row to prove that women cannot become men. Now, of course, when he first made the challenge, people were upset. They were like, how dare you? How dare you, Jake Shields? Come at women or whatever the fuck, or come at trans people. And Jake's like, hey, yo, I'll die on my shields. I'm about this life. If 10 of you dick choppers or dick adders see the opposite. See, everybody's normally mad about the dudes that chop their wiener off and then go play sports, right? Actually, most of them are mad because they don't even chop the wiener off. They just tuck it with Target attire, and then they go play sports. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. I'm never mad at the athlete. Like, the athlete's doing what they're supposed to do. Like, I'm never going to be mad at a woman athlete for being like, we're winning everything. I'm still struggling to pay rent. What the fuck? Right? I'm not going to, but it's the culture, right? Which brings me to DT, Donald Trump. The culture is everything swings too far one way and then swings back the other way. And I think that either him or his team have figured this out. And that's how he just pulled the switcheroo on Ron DeSantis. He knew that for the last 4 years, including his time as president, from that point, everything shifted this way. Fuck woke, fuck woke, fuck woke. Fucks transgenders, fuck this, fuck that, fuck companies that do that, fuck Bud Light, fuck Target, fuck this, fuck that, right? And now we're sick of that. I'm getting annoyed with all these right-wing people fucking talking shit about Target and Bud Light. We get it, dude. Bud Light didn't do anything that serious. I don't know why the fuck you won't shut up about it. You made your point. You did your thing. They're not doing it anymore. You're punishing them without letting them change. They've acknowledged their mistake. Now you're just doing exactly what the left does, but you think you're being righteous about it, which is what they do. They think they're being righteous. You think you're being righteous. And it all goes one way. It went too far this way, and now people in the middle are like, you know, fuck that, dude. Can we go back to not caring? So now Trump hits DeSantis right there. Right when the culture's on the verge of like, we're with you, DeSantis, but also chill the fuck out. Trump goes, you know, enough. I'm sick of the wokeness. I'm sick of everything having to be woke. Sometimes things are just bad ideas. Sometimes shit just sucks. It doesn't have to be woke just because it sucks. And in that moment, I'm like, this motherfucker gets it, dude. He's gonna win because he understands the pendulum. The pendulum goes like this. Super far left, super far right, super far left, super far right. And Trump just like, he sits right here in the pocket. Like, once it gets to this part of the super far right, he's not there anymore. Then once it gets to this part of the super far left, he's not there anymore. He's right in the middle. It's like if politics is like Big Brother. You've seen the show Big Brother on CBS with that hot Asian bitch that does the announcing. What is her name? Something. You know what I mean? I don't know her name, but she's hot. I remember growing up watching it on cable. So, if this was Big Brother, Trump is the guy who plays, like, there's one major alliance and then another major alliance, and Trump is like, I play both sides. Bang, bang, bang. Now, unlike Big Brother, Big Brother has to play out till the end. Imagine if Big Brother just every 4 episodes, shit changed. That's what Trump's dealing with. He's playing Big Brother with a big shakeup every 4 years. My man's is fucking down the middle while being on the right. He's literally Republican in name only. He's a rhino. I don't see any burning cities with the Bud Light protests, or piss getting thrown on people, or people trying to destroy history. That's true. That's true. Okay. That's a good point. That's a good point. But people are now making it their identity almost. Like, the George Floyd thing's a little bit different because that really did, like, you cannot as a rational, well, not irrational, you cannot as a emotional human watch that George Floyd video and not feel some type of way. Like, I don't look at the ad that Bud Light did with the Dylan Mulvaney and, like, feel something in my core. You know what I mean? And I'm one of the middle people, and I felt something when I watched that video. So I can only imagine what the fringe people were feeling when they watched that video. So it is a little bit different. But that is true. Like, nobody doing Bud Light, but it is annoying. Like, all Bud Light did was it wasn't like this is what the right leads people to believe. They lead people to believe that Bud Light put a trans person on every can that was being sold. That every commercial had Dylan Mulvaney in it. Everything had to do with trans. No, it was a batch of 1,000 cans. Most of them were given to Dylan, herself, right? So it's not even that truly big of a deal. They're making it a bigger deal than it needs to be. They're like, keep it going. Keep it going. We can't deal with the trans stuff. So I'm on their side. I think it's annoying that the left pushed the trans agenda so far. But also, now you're doing it. Now you're annoying me with pushing Bud Light so far. Like, they've apologized. They fired the person who did it. Like, the whole point of it is the right is always saying the left never gives people an opportunity to change or grow. Well, they do the same thing. Like, each side does the same thing. Yes, they did. Yes, they did, bro. Bud Light executives put on leave after campaign. That's a month ago. Hold on. June. It's interesting. Well, see, no, none of these are recent. These are all from the week that it came out. Like, all of these are from April. All of these are from April. April 5th, April 14th, April 14th. Like, all these put on leave. I'm telling you, I heard a couple days ago that she was fired. Hold on. Filters. Anytime this past week. mutual departure 2 days ago. They had a mutual departure. Well, she has another woke company that's willing to take her on, is what it is. But yeah, I heard a couple days ago that she doesn't work for them anymore. So whether it's fired, whatever, it doesn't matter. The whole thing is they put her on leave, they apologized, they said they wouldn't go in that direction anymore, and now she doesn't work there anymore. And people are still like, every day. Like, this is the thing, Neil, is you're not on social media, so you're getting like old style news. Like, new style news is like, fuck this shit, dude. I can't open up any app or any news site without seeing something about Bud Light and conservatives protesting or doing something. Now, are they protesting where cities are being burnt down? No. But it's annoying. It's just beer. They put the face on 1,000 cans. Like, if it wasn't for social media blowing it through the roof, no Bud Light drinker would have ever known. If social media didn't exist, if the news didn't cover the story, I would have never known about it. You would have never known about it. And 99% of everybody that doesn't follow Dylan Mulvaney would have never known about it. But here we are. It's the biggest story in the world for the last month. It's well, I mean, dude, I said it before, I'll say it again, dude. I don't know if the trans issue has been in the media nonstop because Barack is married to a trans, or if because the Kardashians made it pop culture. I don't know which one it is. Could it be that when Barack Obama said that put in that bill that the U.S. media could perform propaganda on its citizens, if he did that so that they could push the trans issue so people would accept his wife so someday she could become president, and then it'd be President Michael Michelle and then first man lady Obama or whatever. I don't know how that would work. But there's a big conspiracy theorist that Michelle got a wee-wee, okay? I don't know how I feel about it, but Photoshop's really good. So, there's that. Let's talk about baseball, yo. Does anybody in here give a fuck about baseball? Does anybody in here give a flying fuck about baseball? Did you ever care about baseball? Have you ever once in your life thought, oh my God, baseball's awesome? The answer is probably no. Unless you were a kid and you played baseball. Or you were a kid like me who didn't play baseball but lived across the street from a baseball field and would go over and watch games all the time. Oh no, I ain't got no woke baseball news, but baseball has been on a decline for a long while. Football on the rise. Baseball on the decline. Okay? Attention spans. Nobody wants. I go for snacks and drinks. Well, this is a good year to go because we're actually not doing bad. And sometimes there's just a perfect fit. And Andrew McCutchen on the Pirates, for some reason, is just a perfect fit. So, baseball has not changed their rules or regulations for over 100 years because it's America's pastime. It's the traditional sport. It's integrity. It's this, it's that, it's whatever. Well, attention spans are shot, and nobody wants to sit around for 5 hours watching a baseball game. So over the summer, over the winter, the MLB, for the first time in over 100 years, made a new change. Where there's now a pitch count, a pitch clock. So before, a pitcher could stand there for 20 minutes before he pitched the ball. Well, now he has a clock timer that he has to pitch the ball within that amount of time. And on average, that's shortened the games by over a half hour. And because of that, attendance has gone up overall for most Major League Baseball teams. Now, I would argue that hasn't have anything to do with that stat, that is correlation, not causation. I would say the correlation of attendance going up is probably because the pandemic's over and people want to go outside and enjoy nice things, and people want to go to baseball parks and enjoy scenery, and most people leave before the end of the game anyway. But the stat of, attendance is through the roof this season, plus we made the game shorter, they're saying this is what it is. Now that's good news, is that they're thinking that. Because that means they'll probably do more rule changes to baseball to make the game more exciting for average, regular fans. Yes, the change was noticeable. Yeah. Well, I mean, it's the same thing with the NFL. The NFL, they change rules a lot more, but they still stick to the tradition of, they could have lasers and stuff to do the first down markers and shit, but they still just use 4 dudes with chains and poles. Like, they could easily just set up fucking laser grids and shit. And then even the running back could see, like we see on TV, we see where the first down is because they paint the line over the field, video wise. You could do that with lasers and make it real, but they don't do that. But yeah, dude, I'm actually excited because if you could make baseball, I've said this for a while now, baseball's boring for the same reason basketball is boring to me. The games don't mean much, right? There's 180 games in a baseball season. There's 182 games in a basketball season. You could go on a 15-game losing streak and still make the playoffs. A 15-game losing streak and still make the playoffs like it was like it never happened. That's dumb. So that's basically like no game matters. Like, I know when I go to a football game, every game is super important and every player on the field is trying as hard as they can, because if you lose 3 games in a row, you're probably out of the playoffs. So it's this situation where every game means more in football because there's less games. So it's more exciting. It's like a battle royale in video games. If you're playing multiplayer Call of Duty, it's kind of boring unless you're super good and you're getting kills all the time, right? Because if you die, you just come back. It's no big deal. You could die 45 times, but you killed 100 people, so you're still at the top, right? In a battle royale, you lose once, your teammates res you, you die a couple times, the game's over. Your team dies right off spawn, it's over. You know, you lose 4 games right out the stretch of the season, it's over. So, if baseball would cut their season down and every game meant more, attendance would rise. Like, people go to baseball games when it's convenient. People plan to go to football games. I would go to a Pirates game if I was off that day. I'm chilling around Pittsburgh and I'm like, oh fuck, I have a few hours to kill. I'll just go watch the first half of a baseball game. That's what it would take to get me to go to a baseball game. If I got tickets to a Steelers game, I'm requesting off. I'm buying a hotel so I can drink and not have to drive home. I'm making an event of it because it's going to be something big. That's my assessment of baseball versus football, is they need to make baseball more exciting every game. Like, I don't care about the fireworks. I want the game to be faster and I want it to mean more. That's it. Like, I've heard some really cool ideas. Like, what about this? What if the celebrity first pitch actually counted? I mean, yeah, Pittsburgh's attendance has been down for a long time because we're not good. We're not in a huge city. Like, Pittsburgh is a well-known city because of the Steelers, to be honest. Our population isn't in the top 15. Our economic status isn't in the top 15. Like, no aspect of Pittsburgh is a top 15 city, but we have top 15 name recognition, mainly because of the Steelers and the Pirates, and the Penguins and sports and steel, whatever. But baseball overall, like, there's no baseball teams. The New York Yankees sell the most tickets, and they don't sell out unless it's the playoffs. So that's not unnormal. I just think that baseball needs to be more exciting. That, like, make the first pitch, like the celebrity first pitch count. Like, the first batter, the first away batter should be able to hit that. Like, if Zendaya is pitching, you know, fucking Andrew McCutchen should be able to hit that motherfucker for a home run. You know? If it's an away game. You know? That'd be fire. How do the Wild Things get people to go there? Free tickets, to be honest. Like, the Wild Things runs on concessions. It's like Little League Baseball almost. So the Wild Things business model is this. We rent out the stadium to musical acts that sell tickets. We rent out the stadium to college teams, things of that nature. And selling concessions at their games. They actually don't care that much about tickets. They sell tickets for about $4 to $12. And then they also give them away at school. So what they'll do is they'll go to a school and they'll be like, okay, you can have your practices here once a month, or you can have your playoff game here if you make it to the playoffs. And then also here's a fundraising thing, and they give the school 1,000 free tickets for the season. And then that school gives out the tickets to the students if they do good in a fundraiser, or if they do good at a pep rally or something. And then those students take home their 5 free tickets, and then the family goes to the game for free. And then while they're there, they buy popcorn, hot dogs, nachos, things like that. To be honest with you, the Wild Things Stadium, the moment it needs true repairs, it's a new enough stadium that it's not falling apart yet. But I promise you, it's not making enough money. The moment that stadium needs a big repair, they'll just close it down. They do not make enough money. See, the Consol Energy was a gas company, and they were bringing in people from all over the country to do oil and gas services, and they thought that the town of Washington was going to grow, and then grow to the point where it would just add to Pittsburgh, and it'd be a giant city. And because they were bringing in all these gas and oil field people, they would have, like, these gas and oil people would want to go to a baseball game or something and not have to go to Pittsburgh. So Consol Energy built the stadium for the Washington Wild Things in hopes that Washington would grow. And 15, 20 years after they built it, Joe Biden becomes president, cancels gas and oil, and now 40,000 people, $4 million worth of spent revenue a year has left this tri-state area, and nobody's going to go to Washington Wild Things games. So the moment the stadium needs a $1 million repair, it gets shut down. And that's big facts. Big factualities. Woo! But I have a couple baseball stories. So when I was growing up, I grew up on a farm. And this farm was out in the middle of the country. And about a quarter mile from my house, they built a local Little League baseball field. I would often leave my house and walk to the baseball field and watch baseball. Because this is before cell phones were huge. This was before social media. This was before streaming services. This was before high-speed internet. Okay? I'm a young child. There's nothing to do. It's either, hey, you're about to shovel shit and do farm work, or I could disappear and get yelled at later and go watch people my age play baseball. So I would often go and do that. So that's just to set the stage. Now, one time, I actually don't know if I want to tell this story. I'll skip forward some into the story so I don't have to feel weird about it. there was a time where I got in trouble and the cops were called on me as a teenager. And I decided, you know what, fuck it. I'm running away from home. So I ran away from home. And when I ran away from home, I didn't run away from home. I just ran away because I didn't want the cops to be there to get me, right? So I'm running down the street. There's a baseball game going on. I'll just duck in here, okay? Cops get to my house. They get the description from my bitch of a stepmother. And they apparently see me at the baseball field, and they pull in, and over their little speaker over the car, they're like, Josh, please surrender. Come to the car. Josh, please come to the car. So I'm like, oh my God, if I just keep watching the game, if I'm watching the game and I don't acknowledge that they are talking to me, they'll never know I'm here. So I'm staring at the field. I'm like, in my head, I'm in my own head. I'm not even actually looking at what I'm looking at. I'm just staring at the baseball field, and I'm like, don't look at them, don't look at them. They don't know who you are. Everything's fine. Well, it turns out that was a mistake because everybody but me was looking at the cop. So now everybody's looking at the cop like this, and I'm like staring at the baseball field. So this motherfucker goes, hey, red shirt. I'm wearing a red shirt. I'm like, fuck. I start taking off running. Start running down the field. This cop starts chasing me. I'm like, you ate too many donuts, motherfucker. He's like, you ate too many donuts too. So I'm like, yeah, he's right. Starting to run out of breath. I'm like, this is how I'll jump across the stream. So I go to jump across the stream. I ain't got Michael Jordan hops. I get one leg on the bank. One leg's dipped in the water. I'm trying to pull myself up out of the bank. Next thing I know, two little sticky prongs. Boom. One in my back, one in my ass cheek. I start shaking, right? I'm getting electrocuted by a taser. He pulls me out of the water, puts me in handcuffs, throws me in the back of the cop car, drives me to my house. And I said, how'd you know it was me? How'd you know who I was? He's like, well, I stopped here first, and I got a description, and you were the only one not looking at me. And that's when I knew, in that moment, not to be in my own head in sticky situations. You have to be around of your surroundings. I easily could have looked around and been like, oh my God, everybody's looking at him. Let me look at him. Let me step to the right behind this big fat guy next to me. That way the dude from the fucking hill can't see me in my red shirt. But no. And then I went away. I went away to juvie for about 3 months. An entire summer, actually. It was the last 4 weeks of school, plus the entire summer. I went to juvie, and in juvie, some cool stuff happened. I learned that if I ever go to prison, I'm going to be all right. Because I got a good right hand to defend myself. My butt cheek muscles can clench super hard, so no entry allowed. And 3, everybody loves me. I'm diplomatic with everybody. I'm like a chameleon. I'm the type of personality that movies get made about. Everybody loved me. I hated everybody. It's just what it was. And I remember there was this time that I got put with the 2 dudes that I actually did vibe with. We called one Chaz, one Goldilocks. We called Chaz because his name was Chaz. We called Goldilocks because he had long, flowing, silky blonde hair as a dude, but didn't look gay at all. Like Legolas. Or, basically Legolas. My man's looked like Legolas. So we called him Goldilocks. And we were super vibe. We fucked with each other super hard. We would joke around, we'd do stuff. So we decided one day we were going to play a joke on the guards. So it's like 2 days before April Fool's. We knew we weren't going to be able to get away with anything on April Fool's, so we decided to do it a couple days early. So we go onto the opposite side of the courtyard, and we start fake arguing, right? So Goldilocks and Chaz. What you need to know about Chaz is he's 6'9", and he was a karate black belt, and he would practice by standing his mattress up against the wall, standing on one leg like this, right? He would stand on one leg like this, the mattress would start falling, he'd fucking kick it, the mattress would come back up, hit the wall, and then he'd still be on the one leg, it'd come down and he'd kick it. And he'd do that for like a half hour with each leg. Okay? So my man's was a trained killer, so to speak. And one day we did this thing where I was going to play, because I'm big, I was going to play blockage to hide the special effects. And Chaz and Goldilocks got into a fake fight on the opposite side of the courtyard. And they were like, you motherfucker, fuck you, homo. And Chaz, fake did the kick to the head, got this close to Goldilocks' face, and I had my back to him and I clapped perfectly. So as his head was going up to his face, I went, and Goldilocks just dropped. He sold it too. Like, I'm pretty sure he hurt himself dropping to the floor like that. And then Chaz was standing over him like, yeah, fuck you. I turn around. I see the guards full-blown flash running. Tsh, 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 tsh. Guards are full-blown flash running at us. By the time they get there, we can't stop laughing. I'm looking at two overweight black men full-blown sprinting like they think they're the Flash, because they think this little white, blonde, Goldilocks-looking motherfucker just got knocked out by a super kick. We're laughing so hard, they get there, they grab Chaz by the arms, and we're all laughing. They're like, what's so funny? And Goldilocks gets up and goes, April Fools, bitch! Also, this is a good one. So also while I was in this juvie place, there was me, Goldilocks, and Chaz shared a room, okay? And there was this other guy that was in our cell block, like our like area, that was like, I'm pretty sure like, retarded. Like legit retarded. And he always did this thing where I mastered his accent because it was so funny to make fun of him, right? I was an asshole back in the day. I would never make fun of somebody like that anymore. I'm telling a story of when I made fun of him back then. Okay? So I would master his impression. Hi, my name's Joshua Graham. My name is Joshua Graham. Did you know that I play Grand Theft Auto? Okay? So one day, it's lights out. Chaz comes into the cell late. I'm on my bed. Goldilocks is in his bed. Chad's making his way to his bed. It's pitch black. No moonlight coming through the window, nothing. And I just go, my name is Joshua Graham. I got kicked in the chest by Chaz, who got up and was like, boom! It was like, get the fuck out of our room! And I was like, dude, it's me, it's regular Josh. And he was like, dude, that accent was too good. So that was a crazy situation. And then, oh, okay, this is my favorite story from there. All right. If you guys aren't watching right now, you're going to want to watch. I don't know how shit just went down. Okay. But this is an all-time great Josh story. All-time great. In my personal heart, this is an all-time great story for me. How do I want to set it up so I can make it a clip? How do I want to set this up? Okay. Okay. So when I was in high school, I ended up in juvie for a little bit. And I remember this one time that we were being watched by our two favorite guards, Dion and Andre. Can't remember what race they were. But one day, we got to go to the cafeteria for breakfast, which we never did. We always got our food brought to us, because it's juvie. It's not actual jail. There's no chow hall or whatever. So they would bring us our breakfast food. You know, it'd be like an option, like, oh, you can have this little Cinnamon Toast Crunch box or whatever. And one day they decided, you know what, you guys have been really well behaved. Let's take you down to the cafeteria and let you get your own food for once. So we're on our way down. There's about 6 of us with Dion and Andre. Still can't remember their race. And I walk in the cafeteria, and there's a tube TV sitting on a cart with one of them orange ratchet straps holding it down, right? Just like back in the day in school. So I'm like, hell yeah. So we're all in line going around the cafeteria getting whatever we wanted out of the cupboards and stuff, and making some like eggs or whatever. And the news is on. And I remember it vividly because we never got to watch anything. So even the news was interesting. We were like, wow, that's really happening? Oh my God, Kenny Chesney this weekend? That's crazy. So what happened is we got all our food. We're sitting down. And now Dion and Andre, still can't remember their race, are getting their food. And on the news, this pops up. And in other news, Margaret Snyder, age 83, died today. She will be missed. And Dion just goes, no, not Margaret. And he throws his plate against the wall, and he drops down to the floor, and he puts his hands over his head like this, and he's like, ah, I can't believe it. And Andre runs over to him, and he goes, Dion, you okay? Did you know her? And Dion jumps up and goes, nah, never met the bitch a day in my life. It was so fucking funny because we didn't see it coming. Dion was not a jokester. He was always real serious with us, like, hey, this is how it is. You got to get your shit together. You got to be better, you know? And then for him to be like, and in other news, Margaret Snyder died today. No, not Margaret. Dion, are you okay? Did you know her? Nah, never met the bitch a day in my life. I cried laughing, dude. And then I used socks. They would give us socks, sort of similar to clap cleats, but not the quality of sex. They would give us these socks in these little plastic bags, and I would fill my little plastic bags with cereal. And then one time I got caught with contraband, and I got punished. Sucked. All right. Well, seems like everybody's out. All right. Tyson Fury versus John Jones. Is there anybody here? Oh, you're still lurking? Okay. Heard. It's just summertime, so like I know the views are gonna go down lower than normal. People are trying to be outside, have fun. I get it. Ain't no big whoop. I'm just trying to figure out if it's worth having a raid or not. That's all. I'm not drinking all this. All right, let's see. What can we talk about? Oh, what can we talk about? Oh, John Jones and Tyson Fury. We could talk about that. Okay. In case you guys don't know who Tyson Fury is the Gypsy King, aka the best heavyweight boxer in the world. And recently, on a Joe Rogan episode, he was talking to another person where he was saying that on social media, Tyson Fury is saying he's the baddest man on the planet. Now, forever, the heavyweight boxing champ has always said they're the baddest man on the planet. But that's until MMA came around. And now that's just kind of a moniker that nobody believes. But Tyson Fury is super insistent that he is indeed the baddest man on the planet. And Joe Rogan, in an episode with somebody that he was talking to, recently said that nobody actually believes that. Everybody knows if you lock John Jones and Tyson Fury in a room together, that John Jones would leave out of that room and Tyson Fury would probably not. Okay? So then Tyson Fury came out on his social media and called Joe Rogan a bald-headed, stupid midget. and said, fuck you, you don't know anything about anything, I am the baddest man on the planet, and nobody could fuck me up, nobody, and that's the end of the story. So then Dana White decided, if you really feel that way, Tyson Fury, if you really feel like, you know, because all these boxers want to fight MMA fighters in boxing, but no boxer wants to go fight an MMA fighter in MMA. So it is hilarious to me that you could be a boxer and you want an MMA fighter to come box you to prove who the baddest man on this planet, but that'd be like a checkers player telling a chess player, I'm better than you, come play me in checkers and I'll prove it. Well, checkers is less skilled, in my opinion, than chess. So that's dumb. It would be harder for a checkers player to go beat a chess player than it would be for a chess player to come beat a checkers player. Now, I'm not saying the chess player would beat the checkers player, but one is way harder to overcome than the other. So in my opinion, Tyson Fury, if you're going to run around claiming you're the best, I'm the baddest man on the planet, go prove it by fighting John Jones in the octagon. Dana White said he would make it happen. Just the way I feel like it'd be done. Like, Tyson Fury, in my mind right now, because he won't go fight in an octagon MMA, is like Lizzo. Tyson Fury, I'm the baddest man on the planet. I'm Lizzo. I'm the beauty standard. But the moment people tell you why that's wrong and give you good evidence why that's wrong, you just want to attack them and be like, fuck you. You're a piece of shit. You're a bigot. You're an asshole. You don't know anything. You're dumb. You're a bald little midget. Like, come on, yo. Lizzo is Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury is Lizzo. I hope that pisses people off. Clip it. Okay. What is something fun, dude? What is something fun? All right, you know what? I think that about does it, chat. To be honest. It's a slow day. We got shit to do. I am ready to call it. All right. Thank you for being here for another episode of Hurricane of Thoughts. Next week will be a little weird, as I probably will not be streaming, but we will be live. And if you want to know what that means, just show up next Tuesday, show some people some love, give them the what's up, give them the hell yeah, do the things you do, yo on and so forth, and whatnot. GG's, my people, and I'm out.